This is a story about how you can spend 10 years loving someone and still not know the one truth that changes everything. If you're here for the clickbait, you're not going to believe the twist. But trust me, it broke me. Meet Anya and Leo, the perfect people with the perfectly imperfect relationship. For a decade, they were the definition of just friends. They were roommates, best friends and twin souls, finishing each other's sentences, sharing every secret, except the biggest one. He was the meticulous architect, designing perfect buildings. She was the free-spirited artist, creating beautiful chaos. Everyone who met them saw it. They belonged together, but they lived under the iron rule of the friend zone pact. The fear? Risking the perfect friendship for a potentially messy romance. So they played matchmaker for each other, doling out advice that was really just a disguise for their own burning feelings. He sounds nice, Anya, but maybe you need someone more stable. She's great, Leo. But does she really get your weird obsession with vintage clocks like I do? But then, life forced their hand. Leo got a massive job offer, an ocean away. The thought of losing him was a gut punch. It was the only thing that could finally shatter the pact. That airport goodbye was the most painful hour of my life. And in that moment, when the 10 years of denial crashed down, he chose me. He gave up the dream job. He chose us. After 10 years, we finally crossed the line. The perfect love story had finally begun. For the next 3 years, we were that couple. The sickeningly perfect couple. The decade of pent-up feelings turned into a love that was effortless, joyous, and felt utterly inevitable. Everything was built on trust, honesty, and shared history. But if you look closely at these clips, you'll see the cracks. The little things I rationalized away. Leo's silver ring on his pinky finger. He never took it off. And he never talked about it. The way he'd go dead silent if a certain, really generic pop song from 2015 came on. And the locked wooden box I kept under my bed, full of things I didn't quite remember. We started talking about forever, and that's when I finally opened the box. Inside, taped to the lid, was a cryptic poem. It was in my handwriting, but I had absolutely no memory of writing it. It described a profound moment of connection, an electric flash of fate, as if I'd met my soulmate for the very first time. I showed it to Leo, and he just laughed it off. Anya, you're an artist. You write things all the time, but the song, the ring, the poem, they started to feel like breadcrumbs leading somewhere I didn't want to go. I pushed him. He got defensive. He said the past didn't matter, only us. I didn't know it, but he was planning a proposal. A beautiful one. He hid the ring in the one place he knew. I wouldn't look inside the pinky ring he always wore, because he'd been planning this particular moment for a very long time. He took me back to the place where we shared our first real kiss after the airport. He was tearing up as he spoke about waiting 10 years for this day. And then he reached for his pinky ring. That's when the universe decided to intervene. The ring snagged on his sleeve. The mechanism broke. The new engagement ring tumbled to the ground. But I didn't see that ring. My eyes locked on the tiny, exposed micro-inscription on the inside of his pinky ring. I saw the date, September 15th, 2015. That was 10 years ago. Before we were just friends, I finally screamed the question, and that's when the world stopped spinning. The truth? We weren't just friends 10 years ago. We were about to be married. On that date, September 15th, I was in a horrific accident and suffered a massive, traumatic amnesia, wiping out a full year of my life. My memories of our love, gone. He wasn't just my best friend. He was my caregiver. He was my forgotten fiancé. When I recovered, I was different, a stranger to my old self. He realized that to tell me the truth would only terrify the new me. So he made the unimaginable choice. He sacrificed our past. He reintroduced himself as a roommate. He let me fall in love with him all over again, freely, without the weight of a trauma I couldn't remember. The pinky ring was our original engagement. My whole life was built on a perfect, heartbreaking lie. My initial thought was rage. How could he? But as he talked, I realized he hadn't tricked me. He had loved me twice. He had let me choose him, not once, but 2 separate times. I didn't take the new ring that day. Instead, I put the pinky ring on my own hand. It was the piece of our history I didn't remember, but that I finally understood. He didn't just earn my love once. He earned it with every laugh, every late-night talk, every moment of every day for a decade. The secret wasn't about the past he hid. It was about the future he let me choose. And that, viewers, is why I know my love story will never break. What would you have done if you loved someone enough to let them forget you just to keep them in your life? Let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe, and share this video if you think love is worth fighting for, even twice.